How to handle a difficult conversation at work. This is one of the key communication skills that is often talked about and is called as a behavioral skill and is relevant for you if you are a team member, a team manager, or a team leader. What it means is how good are you at effectively communicating during a conflicting situation and not ruining your relationship with your stakeholders. This can be a situation when you have to give a negative feedback to a team member or when you have to deal with a customer complaint. There are important points that can be kept in mind when you are in this situation. Number one is having the empathy to understand the other person's viewpoint. Number two is active listening, which is making notes when the other person is talking so that you can pay attention to every point that they are making. Number three is showing respect, which means if you interrupt the other person, often they will feel disrespected. If you do not allow them to finish, there is a high chance of entering into an argument. And that is the very reason when most people try to avoid a conflicting situation, as they do not want to argue. But it's important to understand that you cannot possibly solve a problem if you are not ready to accept that a problem exists. So, identifying a conflicting situation or any area of disagreement is important. Another important thing is to stay focused on the problem or the situation at hand instead of attacking the person who's involved in the situation, because that may lead to a negative communication where the person feels being attacked or blamed, and they often tend to get to the offensive or the defensive side, which can end up in an argument. Next, what you can do is stay open minded during that communication. And what that means is start with the positive points of agreement so that the other person is also open to communicate, and then paying attention on any new information or any new idea or thought that you might not have considered until that point, so that you can find a midway or a common ground to resolve the conflicts. Last, it's important to remember that you may not always be able to agree on everything, and so agreeing to disagree is also important. Being able to set the boundaries right and in time is important. Stating what is not negotiable for you is important, and so assertive communication is what is required. Last but not the least, keeping the communication channel open, which means despite the disagreements, ensuring that you do follow up with them later on to understand whether they are still facing any challenge or is everything fine.